My name is Leah Charity of Ancha Crochets, and today we are making a two-piece of a maxi skirt and a fitted top of shoulder top. Alright, so we're going to begin with the maxi skirt, the pleated maxi skirt, and these are the materials that we'll be using. We'll be using a Charity brand DKN, and these the specifications, but however I'll be using a 3mm hook, a darning needle, a tape measure, and I'll also be putting a lining inside of the skirt, and we'll be having a cutter or a scissor, whatever you have, and also a skirt zipper. And thank you guys for the support you're giving me, and remember, I'm very new here, and your support is highly appreciated. And at the beginning of the skirt, we're going to do the waistband, and since I'll be using a zipper, so you're going to make the exact equivalent chain to your waist measurement, since I'll be using a zipper. All right, so for my client, the size is size 40 inches for the waist, which means I'm going to chain a chain that is equivalent to 40 inches exactly, and work my single crochets on it. And I'll be working that for a length of about 2 inches. Then I'll be starting to work the body of the skirt. So let's get into that. So here we are. This is how I begin my chain. All right, so I'll just wrap the yarn around my hand to grab this tail, and I'm going to insert my hook here, twist it once, hold the twist, and yarn over. That's my first chain. All right, so I'm going to chain a chain that is equivalent to 40 inches. All right, because that is the waist measurement for my client. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So here I am. I have completed my chain. I did about 165 chains with a 3mm hook that is equivalent to 40 inches. All right, so what we're going to do next, we are going to go into the chain with our single crochets. So my chain, when it's slightly stretched, it comes to 40 inches. All right, so what you're going to do next is you are going to chain extra 1, which makes it 165 for my measurements. All right, this chain 1, it's a turning chain. All right, so I'll go in with a single crochet. All right, so a single crochet, you go into the chain, yarn over, and pull through everything into the chain, yarn over, pull into everything, into the chain, yarn over, pull through all. All right, so you're going to do that until you get to the end of the chain, and I'll show you how you round off. So I'm almost at the end of my chain, and I'm left with only 1, so I'm going to go ahead and put my last single crochet. There you have it. All right, so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to chain 1, turn my work, and go into the next chain with a single crochet. All right, so you're going to go on and do single crochets all the way until you get to the other end. Chain 1, repeat everything that you've been doing now, and you're going to do it for a length of 2 inches. Right, so that's the measurement I'm following. So since I'm going to put a zipper on my skirt, and or perhaps also I might end up putting a button, which is why I have not created a succulent to this, right? And which is why I'm using the waist measurement and not the hip measurement. All right, so I'm going to work my waistband for 2 inches and come back when I've done so and tell you the next step for us to achieve our hip measurement. All right, so go ahead and work your waistband and we will meet at the end. All right, so I'm almost at the end of my single crochet last row. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and finish off. I hope doing this you put the last single crochet in the very last single crochet, because that way you're going to have your work straight. Like you can see here, I have a very straight edge, right? And my work is very neat, like extremely neat, as you can see. All right, so this is exactly 2 inches. This is my waistband. So remember I mentioned that because I'm using a zipper, I might even also use a button. So because of that, I'm based on my waist measurement, like the exact waist measurement, right? And I'm not joining at the end. So this is more like just a belt right now, and I'm going to, the next thing that we are doing right now, we are going to work it for about 8 inches from here, which means I'm working 6 inches down right now, and from there that's when I'll join my work, because that's where my zipper will end. All right, so what you're going to do next from here, I'm not changing the hook, I'm just using the same hook. So you are going to chain 1, 2 and turn your work, and this chain 2, it acts as a double crochet. All right, turn your work, and since we'll be installing the zipper, all right, so this first section and the last section, you're just going to put normal double crochets. All right, so I think I prefer, I did 4, 5 including the chain 2. all right, so I like chaining 2 and not 3 because I don't like the way the joint becomes when you have chained 3. So I normally chain 2 with my double crochets, even if I begin the row. All right, because I want the joining to be seamless. All right, so after you do your 4 double crochets or whichever you prefer, you are going to yarn over. All right, then you skip 1 here because it's your first, right? You're going to skip 1, go into the next with a double crochet. All right, go ahead and do 3 double crochets. All right, in the same chain space, yarn over, go ahead, do another. Okay, set off 3 double crochets. So you're actually working your increases. All right, so you're just going to keep on inserting or making 3 double crochets in each and every chain space that you get. Then towards the end of the work, I'll show you how to round off, because this is a row of increases to create the ruffled look or the pleated look we are going for. So just to go ahead, work that, and I'll meet you towards the end so that we can work this part together. Okay, so I've come to almost the end of our row of double crochets, class of double crochets in each and every stitch. So remember what I did here at the beginning, so I'm going to do the same here. So I'm left with 6 stitches. I'm going to yarn over, skip 1, and go ahead and place my 1 double crochet, yarn over into the next 1 double crochet, yarn over into the next 1 double crochet into the next, 1 double crochet, yarn over, and into the very last stitch I'm also going to put a double crochet. Okay, so that my work will look straight, and this will help me as I will be installing the zipper at the end of the work. Alright, so next you're going to turn your work, chain 2, turn your work, yarn over into the next double crochet. You're going to put a double crochet, yarn over into the next double crochet. Sorry about that. Into the next double crochet, double crochet. So now we are at the part of the cluster where we did our increases. So this row there are no increases, and this is just good enough. And I'm using a 3mm hook because my client requested that the stitches become intact. Alright, so 3mm hook will help me with the tension. Alright, so you're going to go ahead and place 1 double crochet on each and every chain that you get. Alright, on each and every stitch created. Alright, so you're going to do that and do that all the way until you reach the end here, the same way as we did here. And I will meet you here so that we round off our round and see what we do next. Okay, so no increases, 1 double crochet on each and every stitch. All right, just like that. So I've come to almost the end of a row of 1 double crochet on each and every chain or each and every stitch. All right, so I'm almost in my last cluster, so I'm going to put 1 double crochet on each and every stitch that I get. 1 double crochet. All right, so this is the end of the cluster. Now I'm left with these 5 stitches where I did basic double crochet stitches initially. So all the same, I'm going to put 1 double crochet on each and every stitch, and also on my chain 2. All right, yarn over, go in there. It can be really hard to go in there, but you should go in there because it will help you to create a clean edge. All right, there you go. So as you can see, putting 1 double crochet in each and every space, and especially the very last one, it helps us to create a very clean edge. So from here you're going to chain 2 and yarn over into the next. Don't go in here, into the next you go in with a single crochet. So you're going to work single crochets all the way until you finish the row. So you're going to do that in rows over and over and over and over and over again until you reach the length of 8 inches, including the waistband. All right, so at the current moment I have about 3 inches. All right, so I'm going to work all the way until I reach 8 inches. That's when we're going to join this thing together. All right, so you're going to join it together. This space of 8 inches is the space where I'll put my zipper at the end of the whole project. All right, so just go ahead and do 1 double crochet in each and every space until you reach 8 inches in total. So I'm almost coming to the end of my last row of the 8 inches. All right, I'm inserting the very last double crochet. This is my 8th. All right, So what you're going to do next, oh sorry, so just to take the measurements, sorry, this is how I measured my 8 inches, right? This is where the zipper will end, which is why I'm doing 8 inches. So this 8 inches will help my client to fit perfectly. Alright, so what you're going to do now, you are going to join these two together and make sure your work is not twisted. So at this point it looks like a mini skirt, micro mini skirt anyway. So you're going to join it together. With a slip stitch, right? Then you're going to go ahead and chain 1, 2, and since we've been working on one panel, which means we were turning our work, we are also going to do the same so that we can achieve the same pattern. So I'm going to turn my work. All right, go ahead and insert a double crochet. So this is how our work will look like right now. So as it is, this is an increase. We're just going to increase with 1 stitch. Since I did I chained 2 on the slip stitch, right? This is just totally fine, but if you don't want to, you could just, sorry, if you don't want to do that, you could just slip stitch into the other end of the work, right? And turn your work. Immediately turn your work and go into this part, into the first double crochet, make another slip stitch, chain 2, go ahead and do your double crochets. All right, go ahead and do your double crochets, and this is how it looks right now. So you're going to work this row and come back so that we round it off. I've come to the end, so I'm going to put my very last double crochet. Sorry about that noise, and slip stitch. So as you do so, don't forget to do at the space where you did your slip stitch, because there will be this chain 2. So do your double crochet there, your last double crochet. Okay, so after slip stitching, you're going to go ahead, chain 2. As you know, I chain 2, I don't chain 3, and I'm going to turn my work. Okay, as I turn my work, I go ahead and work my double crochets as I normally would. So you're going to go ahead and do that until you reach the length that you want. For my client is 40 inches, so I'm going to work this until I reach my 40 inches, and then I'll come back to show what we do next. Okay, so at this point, this is how our work looks like. So You could just maybe use a safety pin or a darning, or a stitch marker, just to keep this together so that when you turn your work you don't struggle, just as I did. All right, then I'll continue to work the body of my skirt. So like I said, I'm aiming 40 inches, and when I reach 40 inches I'll definitely come back and show you what we do next. I'll do this off camera. I have come to the end of my very last row on the skirt. I have achieved my desired length, so you're going to go ahead and slip stitch in your chain 2, chain 1, and cut your yarn. Leave a tail so that you can weave in. Okay, so you're going to take your yarn needle and weave in. After that, I'm going to tie a knot and cut the excess yarn. So the next thing you're going to do, since your skirt is done, you're going to grab your zipper and prepare it. Okay, so remember I said I left 8 inches as the zip opening. All right, so here's my zipper from right where it ends to where it starts. It's 8 inches. All right, and a little bit more. So I'm going to prepare it starting from this point. All right, so preparing the zipper, you're going to use your normal needle and yarn or thread, sewing thread, and you're going to create some stitches. All right, these stitches are the ones that are going to help you to install your zipper easily. All right, so you simply pierce through under as I'm doing, and then on top you leave a little space just like that. Go under, pierce through, leave some space, and make sure your stitches are not tight, because you're going to use a hook, a crochet hook thereafter. So this is what you're going to do on the side, and repeat the same thing on the side, and we shall meet after. So I'm done preparing my zipper. This is how it looks on the top and the bottom. This is how it looks. All right, so the reason why I said you shouldn't make them too tight but just secure, it's because you're going to have to insert your hook. So since I'll be using a 3mm, so I've left a space enough for my 3mm to fit. All right, so when you're done, you just secure the knot and you cut the excess yarn. The rest of the tails, I'll see them after installation. So you're going to install your zipper, and these are going to act as your foundation chain. So you're going to chain one, make a slip knot, okay, and then insert. All right, you're also going to insert on this loop, the first loop that you created on the zipper. All right, and then into the loop we created, and then you pull, right, tail on the side. So you can decide whether you're going to do slip stitches or you're going to do single crochets. So you're going to chain one to join, go into another loop, another stitch, since here I did single crochets. And oh, by the way, I decided to use a 2.5 rather than a 3mm hook, as I have said before. So I used a smaller hook. You go in again, pull. You can decide to do a single crochet or you do a slip stitch. So I'm going to do a single crochet into the next, you go into the zipper on the loop you created and a single crochet. So this is how your work will be looking like. All right, a little bit bumpy, but it's still okay. But if you don't want the bump, you can use a single crochet, a slip stitch. Okay, single crochet into the next one, you pull, single crochet. So that is that. So you're going to do that all the way until you reach the end of the zipper, then we'll meet there. So I've come to the end of where my zipper ends on the first row. All right, so as you can see, I am left with the space and this chain 2. All right, but not to worry. What I'm going to do is right on this double crochet, sorry about that noise, right on this double crochet I'm going to go ahead and make a slip stitch. Making a slip stitch, I am joining. All right, so this will seem as if it was just a normal double crochet here. All right, so after slip stitching I'm going to turn my work, all right, so that I work on this side. So I'm going to go into the double crochet and insert my hook. All right, it's a little bit difficult, but yeah, there, and then pass it through to the double crochet and make a chain, which is a single crochet, so you go into the double crochet again, into the next space, and insert the hook. It's It's a little bit difficult since I'm working on the other side, but either way, here, since it's the first, you can go into the same loop that you inserted your first one, just so it becomes secure. All right, and then a single crochet. So the next double crochet into the loop on the zipper, a single crochet. All right, so you're going to do that all the way until you reach the end, which is the top where you started. So this is how the zipper is looking on the other side and on the inside. So this part we shall see it when we are done. I don't know if you can see clearly, but I'm trying my best. Halfway in, this is how our zipper looks like. All right, and then this is how it has to look like when it's closed. It gives you this invisible look, invisible zipper thing illusion. All right, so but then here I'm still have to come back and stitch a bit here, just with a needle, just maybe 2 stitches, just so that the silver part can be closed in. And then thereafter, when I'm done with the zipper, I'm going to iron this part so that it can lie flat like this. All right, so go ahead and do the rest, and we shall meet after. I've come to the end of my last row of the zipper installation, so I'm going to chain 1 and leave a long tail and cut my yarn. So far this is how our zipper looks like. All right, like this. So don't mind about the whiteness, it's just wax. I used a candle because the zipper was not going down properly, so it's a hack I learned some time ago. You apply wax or candle, and then the zipper will go a little bit smoother or better if it gives you some problems. All right, so this is how it looks. Like I was saying, I'm going to close here a little bit just with a needle, and these I'll take care of. I'm just going to weave them in, and also as I weave in, I'll be sewing this in so that it looks good. And I believe that after ironing, my zipper will be straight. As you can see, somewhere here it's a little bit bumpy, which may be the reason why it's not closing properly, but I'll get to fix that with an iron. So this is what I'll do. I'll pull the strand up and go right under the zipper. All right, and pierce through into where I started, going up. My tail is short, so that way it pulls down this part of the zipper that was left at the top. So you're going to go ahead and do the same thing again, over and over again, until you are satisfied, just so you can secure the zipper and make it look neat. And when you're done, you're going to do the same on the other side. So I managed to iron our zipper, and it looks a lot better, and here you go. Alright. One thing though, I remember I wanted to insert a lining, but I noticed that my work is thick enough and it's not a see-through, so it's okay. I will not insert a lining, but if you wish, you could just go ahead and do it. So at this point, our item is ready. Thank you guys for watching. Until next time. So I'm going to dress my mannequin and give you a chance to see the result. The top tutorial is already available on my YouTube channel, but however, I'll place a link in the description box so that you can visit it if you are interested in doing one. So thank you very much once again, and bye.